In the summer of 2007, I met Mary, which turned out to be one of the worst decisions of my life.
Hi, ghoul friends. Welcome to the Freaky Femme podcast. I'm Doll.
I'm Em, and we are going to dive into a story today called Smile Dog. I first met in person with Mary in the summer of 2007. I had arranged with her husband of 15 years, Terrence, see her for an interview. Mary had initially agreed since I was amateur writer gathering information for a few early college assignments. I scheduled the interview for a particular weekend when I was in Chicago on unrelated business, but at the last moment, Mary changed her mind and locked herself in the couple's bedroom, refusing to meet with me. For half an hour, I sat with Terrence as we camped outside the bedroom door. I listened and was taking notes while he attempted fruitlessly to calm his wife. Things Mary said made little sense but fit with the pattern I was expecting. Though I could not see her, I could tell from her voice that she was crying. More often than not, her objections to speak with me centered around her dreams and nightmares. Terrence apologized profusely when we ceased the exercise, and I did my best to take it in stride, recall that I wasn't a reporter in search of a story, but merely a curious young man in search of information. Besides, I thought at the time I could perhaps find another similar case if I put my mind and resources to it. Mary was a system operator for a small Chicago-based bulletin board system in 1992 when she first encountered Smile.jpg, and her life changed forever. She and Terrence had been married for only 5 months. Mary was one of estimated 400 people who saw the image, and it was posted as a hyperlink in the BBS. Though she was the only one who has spoken openly about the experience, the rest have remained anonymous or are perhaps dead. What caught my interest, other than the obvious macabre elements of the cyber legend and the proclivity towards such things, is the sheer lack of information, usually to the point that people don't believe it even exists, other than as a rumor or hoax. It is unique because though the entire phenomenon centers on a picture file, the file is nowhere to be found on the internet. Certainly many photo-manipulated pictures litter the web, showing up with most frequency on sites such as ImageBoard, 4chan, particularly the X-focused paranormal subboard. It is suspected these are fakes because they do not have the effect of the true Smile.jpg. Is believed to have namely sudden onset temporal lobe epilepsy and acute anxiety. This purported reaction in the viewer is one of the reasons the phantom-like smile JPEG is regarded with such disdain, though depending on whom you ask, the reluctance to knowledge Miles JPEG's existence must be just as much out of fear as it is out of disbelief. Neither Smile JPEG nor Smile.dog is mentioned anywhere on Wikipedia, though the website features articles on such other, perhaps more scandalous shock sites as there's just a bunch of stars. Hello, JPEG. Two
Oh,
girls,
no.
one cup. Any
Oh no, bro.
any attempt to create a page pertaining to smile.jpg is similarly deleted by any of the encyclopedia's many admins. Counters with Smile JPEG are the stuff of internet legend. Mary's story is not unique. There are unverified rumors of the Smile.jpg showing up in the early days of Usenet, and even one persistent tale that in 2002, a hacker flooded the forums of a humor and satire website of smile.dog pictures, rendering almost half of the forum's users at the time epileptic. It is also said that the mid to late 90s, the smile.jpg circulated on Usenet and as an attachment of the chain email with the subject line, "Smile, God loves you."
Remember like chain emails or like those things, messages people would send you like, if you don't send this to so many people, you're gonna have bad luck or whatever for the deal.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I did.
But like this is like old school stuff because it's talking about like old websites and stuff like that. Man, this was a different time. Maybe that's why it scared people so much.
Yeah, there used to be text like that too. If you don't, because this is before internet on your phone and everything. It's like, if you don't send these 10 people telling them they're beautiful or whatever, and I'm like, get out of here! I'm gonna take my chance.
Chainmail's been around for a long time. They've been doing it since the mail days. That's how long it's been.
Pyramid scheme. Yet despite huge exposure these stunts would generate, there are very few people who admit to having experienced any of them, and no trace of the file or any link has ever been discovered. Those who claim to have seen smile.jpg often weakly joke that they were far too busy to save a copy of the picture to their hard drive. However, all alleged victims offer the same description of the photo: a dog-like creature, usually described as appearing similar to a Siberian husky, illuminated by a flash of a camera, sits in a dim room, only background detail that is visible being a human hand extending from the darkness near the left side of the frame. The hand is empty, but usually described as beckoning. Of course, most attention is given to the dog or the dog creature, as some victims are more certain than others about what they claim to have seen. The muzzle of the beast is split in a wide grin, revealing 2 rows of very white, very straight, very sharp, very human-looking teeth. So is it only affecting people that have epileptic episodes?
The picture
or
is
it's
giving
causing
them
people to
seizures,
have
yeah.
it? Oh, okay. Mary, I assumed, was not on effective medication. That was why, after my visit to her apartment in 2007, I sent out feelers for several folklore and urban legends orientated news groups, websites, and mailing lists, hoping to find the name of the supposed victim of smile.jpg, who felt more interested in talking about their experiences. For a time, nothing happened, and at length I forgot completely about my pursuit since I had begun my freshman year of college and was quite busy. Mary contacted me via email, however, near the beginning of 2008. Dear Mr. L, I'm incredibly sorry about my behavior last summer. When you came to interview me, I hope you understand that it was no fault of yours, but rather my own problems that led me to act out as I did. Hope you will forgive me. At the time, I was afraid. You see, for 15 years, I have been haunted by smile.jpg. Smile.dog comes to me in my sleep every night. I know that sounds silly, but it is true. There is an quality about my dreams, my nightmares, that make them completely unlike any real dreams I've ever had. I do not move and I do not speak. I simply look ahead, and the only thing ahead of me is the scene from the horrible picture. I see the beckoning hand and I see smile.dog. It talks to me. It talks to me. Like, hey Mary, how's it going? It is not a dog, of course. I am not quite sure what it is really. It tells me it will leave me alone if only I do as it asks. All I must do, it says, is spread the word. Spread the word.
Can you imagine a dog with human teeth saying, spread the word?
That is how it phrases its demands. and I know exactly what it means. It wants me to show it to someone else.
ASMR.
The week after my incident, I received a manila envelope with no return address. Inside was only a I thought it was going to be the picture of the dog. This is spread the word, but it's not. Inside, there was only a 3.5-inch floppy disk.
You know this is old.
2007, they were using floppy disks, though?
I mean, I guess she said it was
Maybe.
years ago. Maybe it was years ago when she did it.
Oh, he met her in 2007, you're right. Without having to check, I knew precisely what was on it. Sounds like The Ring with the VHS tape. I thought for a long time about my options. I could show it to a stranger, a coworker. I could even show it to Terrence. How mean. Not Terrence. All he does is love you. As much as the idea disgusted me, I'd be like, come here, Terrence.
I gotta spread the
Gotta
word.
show you something. And what would happen then? Well, if Smile.dog kept his word, I could sleep. Yet, if it lied, what would I do? What do you have to lose, honestly? Just don't do it to your poor husband.
Yeah.
Should have done it to the reporter. I'm like, hey, you want to see it? The word. Okay. And then she can give the floppy disk to him, and then he can show it to someone else, and so on and so forth. And who was to say something worse would not come for me if I did as the creature asked? So I did nothing for 15 years. Okay, so this is 15 years. So
that's why she had a floppy disk.
2007.
And that's why the picture hasn't been
2007
spread.
minus 15. 1992. So it was 1992, 15 years
So the whole
ago.
reason the picture hasn't been spread is because back then that was the floppy disk is the only way that they could share the picture. Because it was on that file.
True.
And so that's why the Smile Dog hasn't been spreading, because she's been holding it that whole time.
So it's just been tormenting her and not spreading to other people.
Yeah.
So I did nothing for 15 years, though I kept the disc hidden amongst my things. Every night for 15 years, Smile.dog would come to me in my dreams and demand that I spread the word. 15 years. I have stood strong. Though there have been hard times, many of my fellow victims on the BBS board where I first encountered Smile.jpg stopped posting. I heard some of them committed suicide, others remained completely silent, simply disappearing off the face of the web. They are the ones I worry about the most. I sincerely hope that you will forgive me, Mr. L. But last summer, when you contacted me and my husband about an interview, I was near the breaking point. I decided I was going to give you the floppy disk. I did not care if Smile.dog was lying or not. I wanted to end it. You were a stranger, someone I had no connection with, and I thought I would not feel sorrow when you took the disc as a part of your research and sealed your fate. Before you arrived, I realized what I was doing. I was plotting to ruin your life, but I could not stand the thought, and in fact, I still cannot. I am ashamed, Mr. L. I hope that this warning will dissuade you from further investigation of Smile.jpg. You may in time encounter someone who is, if not weaker than I, then wholly more depraved, someone who will not hesitate to file Smile.dog's orders. Stop while you are still whole. Sincerely, Mary.
Mary's actually a really good person.
So she could have ended, hopefully, I mean,
her
if the dog's
suffering.
telling the truth. She still chose to not even do it to someone she didn't know. Good for you, Mary. Snaps for Mary. Terrence contacted me later that month with the news that his wife had killed herself. Oh, it's so sad.
Now RIP's in the chat for Mary.
While cleaning up the various things she had left behind, closing email accounts, he happened upon the message above. He was a man in shambles. He wept as he told me to listen to his wife's advice. He found the disc, he revealed and burned it until there was nothing but a stinking pile of blackened plastic. The part that most disturbed him, however, was how the disc had hissed as it melted. Like some sort of animal, he said. I will admit that I was a little uncertain about how to respond to this. At first, I thought perhaps it was a joke, with the couple belatedly playing with the situation in order to get a rise out of me. Quick check of several Chicago papers' online obituaries, however, proved that Mary was indeed dead. Of course, no mention of suicide in the article. I decided that, for the time at least, I would not further pursue the subject of smile.jpg, especially since I had finals coming up at the end of May. But the world has odd ways of testing us. Almost a full year after I returned from my disastrous interview with Mary, I received another email to JML from ELZAHIR82. Hello, I found your email address through a mailing list. Your profile said you were interested in Smile Dog. I have it. It's not as bad as everyone says. I have sent it to you here. Spread the word.
Oh, wow.
Smiley face.
Okay.
The final line chilled me to the bone. According to my email, there was one file attachment called, naturally, smile.jpg. I considered downloading it for some time. It was most likely fake. I imagined that even if it weren't, I was not wholly convinced of Smile.jpg's peculiar powers. Mary's account had shaken me, yes, but she was probably mentally unbalanced anyway. After all, how could a simple image do what Smile.jpg was said to accomplish? What sort of creature is it that could break one's mind with only the power of an eye? And if such things were patently absurd, then why did the legend exist at all? If I downloaded the image, if I looked at it, and if Mary turned out to be correct, if Smile Dog came to me in my dreams demanding I spread the word, what would I do? Would I live my life as Mary had, fighting against the urge to give in until I died? Or would I simply spread the word, eager to be put to rest? And if I chose the latter route, how would I do it? Whom would I burden in turn? If I went through with the earlier intention to write a short article about smile.jpg, I decided I could attach it as evidence, and anyone who read the article, anyone who took interest, would be affected. And even assuming the smile.jpg attached to the email was genuine, would I spread the word? Yes, I could.
So this whole story was just his deal of sending the picture off because he looked at it. Because at the end of this article that I copied it from was the picture.
I want to see it. Send it to me so I can a live reaction.
Okay, I'm gonna send it. Are you ready?
It does look like
Yeah,
he has
I don't
human
see.
teeth.
Okay,
don't
I kind of see it.
hand,
Okay,
though.
I'm gonna zoom in, enhance. Yeah, it's
Is it in
kind
the
of like if you
corner?
like move in.
I thought it was like a shadow hand. It looks like a real hand.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like it's beckoning you at all. It looks like it's scared, like trying to get away.
Looks like they put dentures in its mouth.
I know.
Looks like the person just trying to like pull the dog out of the picture. I'm like, give me back my dentures.
Yeah, maybe that's what actually happened, and someone just warped this photo.
She was silly.
So, what did you think about that story? And do you think that? Well, we're not having either of us aren't having seizures, so.
I want to know, would you spread the word to save your skin?
I don't know.
I would show it to someone I very much despised.
I think
Like,
I
I'll
would
get
show
you.
To be honest, if you lived from showing it to someone, then I would show it to someone and just tell them you have to show it to someone. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But it never
like
says...
The Ring, they're like, you have to pass it on, you have to have someone else watch it, or you'll die.
And basically, if everybody just keeps doing that, then it's not that big of a deal because that means everybody will live.
You'll just have horrible nightmares about the
just have
smiling
it for
dog.
a little bit. But it never says that if they live after they send it, you know? Because we don't know what the original poster, if he ever said anything about it.
She said they all went silent.
Yeah, and
where they killed themselves.
Herself. Yeah. I wonder if they went silent, the people that went silent are the people that shared it, and the people that killed themselves, the people that didn't.
Maybe.
So I doubt you there's a way out, to be honest. But if there was, I would definitely show it to him. I'd be like, brother, okay, well, if you show it to someone, I'm going to show you this funny picture. Okay? It's a really funny picture. You want to see it? Like, you don't have to. I would be like telling him, you don't have to look at it, you know? But you can if you want.
Like, you gotta see this cursed picture. Especially, take it to a friend's gathering. Get some drunk people and be like, hey, want to see a picture? But
it's legitimately cursed. I never noticed the hand before, though. Like, I remember the story, but I barely remember it because I was so young when I, like, listened to it. Because I listened to it on YouTube video. But
it doesn't look like it's beckoning. Like, it doesn't look like it wants you to come with it. It looks like it's trying to grab something or grab the dog.
It's either trying to grab at you, like reach for you, because it almost looks like it has a hand out, like almost like going to choke you.
I think you should share this so that way the listeners can see what Smile Dog looks like.
So I'm going to put in, okay guys, here's you ready. If you want to skip forward, I'm going to put the picture in right now. Beautiful picture, huh? Okay, and then I'm going to
You want to know if you would if our listeners would spread the word, or
well, they kind of got to now.
Or would you just live with it like poor Mary did?
Mary's a better woman than all of us, I guess. But you guys will all have to spread the word.
She should have burned the disc if she was going to do that, because then she's chancing her husband to see what was she so scared of? Because I would be like that if I was like so heartbroken that my partner took their life. I'd be like, I need to know why they were so scared, and I'd probably look.
Yeah. But you guys all have to spread the word now because we showed you Smile Dog. And by spread the word, we mean tell your friends and your family to watch Freaky Fam Podcast on YouTube and Spotify. Follow our Instagram, follow our Facebook, okay? So that's what actual Smile Dog said.
Spread the word.
Yes, literally, I'm going to put it in quotation marks and it's going to say that Smile Dog said this. Thank you, Smile Dog.
And don't forget to please send us your stories at thefreakyfems@gmail.com. You can also message us on Facebook Messenger or send us it via Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. If you want to even have your voice in our episode, you can send us a voice message through our DMs in Instagram.
With that, don't forget to lock your doors and check your windows.
And also remember to spread the word.